Hi, this is Talley. I'm here to do an update on the ongoing Stryker V40 litigation. If you've been following our blog, you know that the majority of the Stryker V40 cases are now pending in federal court in Boston, Massachusetts. There has been a lot going on in the litigation since they were coordinated and put in Boston. Right now we have, on the plaintiff side, have started what's called the discovery process. This is where you request documents from the defendant and they produce them. And the documents I'm talking about would be internal emails, memos, design documents, complaint files, those kinds of things. So that process is just starting. The second thing that's happening is there is a Bellwether Trial selection process that's ongoing. And there's still some negotiations and issues about how that process will work, but right now we do have a broad framework in place. A Bellwether trial is what we call the first trials. So in cases like this where you have hundreds or thousands of similar cases, the idea is that if you go to trial on a handful of cases, maybe 3 or 4 cases at the very beginning, and you get verdicts in those cases, you should be able to settle the rest of the cases. So the idea during the Bellwether selection process is you want to select cases that are typical, that are run-of-the-mill cases. So in this case, the V40 head was actually put on several different kinds of stems. Most of the stems at issue in the case involve a stem called the accolade. And so I would expect that some of these early cases will involve accolade hips. You also don't want cases that have somebody with really extraordinary injuries, something that's outside what most people experience, because the idea is you get values on sort of the run-of-the-mill case and you can extrapolate those to others. So right now the process will involve selecting 14 cases. Each side will pick 14 cases. Once those cases are selected, then there will be some discovery that's done on those cases, meaning maybe the deposition of the plaintiffs, the treating doctors. There'll be a more detailed document production required by the plaintiffs. And then eventually each side will pick some cases that they want to go to trial first. How that actual 3 or 4 cases get selected from this pool of cases is yet to be determined, but the court will soon work that out. The other thing that's going on, the last thing is the judge has asked for something called a science day. And in large cases like this is something that judges often ask for. And science day is a day where each side will maybe take an expert or two and have them basically make a presentation to the judge, to give the judge a primer on the science that's involved in the case. The science would involve, metallurgy. Why are these hips? Why is there corrosion occurring in these hips? What is the impact of cobalt and chromium on individuals who have these hips? Those are the kinds of things that would be presented to the judge, so that she has some base knowledge of the science, so that if issues come up during the litigation, discovery issues, expert issues, she has some knowledge of what the science involves. And that's a very common thing in cases like this. So that is probably going to happen in the next month or two. There will be a science day. So if you have a Stryker V40, you have any information or you want information about the case, what's going on, or you're having issues with your hip, feel free to give us a call. You can reach us at the phone number on the screen, or you can fill out one of our online forms and a lawyer will call you right back.